Hi guys, don't know if you're about. Another fun night for me. I haven't labelled up the prizes yet because I still got some more today and I still got more to come, but this is what I'm doing tonight guys. This is one book. I'm going to do one book to start off with because I know I've got enough prizes for that. There's still more to come. So I thought I'd go live so that I've got some company other than Nanu, who is sat over there. Hi Samantha, hi Sarah. What are you guys up to tonight? Matt's took Libby up to bed. I'm not tired. Like I say, I haven't labelled up the prizes yet. Hi Rebecca. I haven't labelled up the prizes, like put the numbers on the prizes yet. But I thought if I do this, this is the bit that takes all the time. So this is just one book. Hi Mel. This is just one book. And obviously it's probably going to be like 2 books this time. But I just thought I would come live while doing this thing to do. Hiya. Thought you guys could just keep me company because it's very boring doing this, but it needs to be done and this is what takes time. This is just 1,000 tickets. How am I? I'm okay. I went to town this morning. I found some more prizes. Don't know whether they're going to be going into this one or the next one, as I'm probably not going to be doing any giveaways on my channel anymore. I'll probably be doing these kind of Tombolas every couple of months. As you see, I'm quite popular and they make some money. Keep looking out the corner of my eye. Oh, the bed, Sarah, the bed. They rang me to say they were half an hour away. And from day one I've said whoever comes to collect it is going to have to bring packaging as the bed is not packaged. So they rang when they said they were going to be half an hour away. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, they rang me to say they were half an hour away, so I said, have you remembered to bring the packaging? To which they replied, we don't do packaging. Is the bed not packaged? I said, obviously, no. I've said this from day one. I specifically requested that you need to bring packaging or something when this was all organised. They basically say that the bed cannot be picked up unless it is packaged. But I obviously have no packaging. So they then look on the notes to see that it asks for packaging to be supplied, but they are only a courier company, so they literally just pick up and deliver. They do not do anything else, so they don't have packaging on their vehicles. Luckily enough, it's the 2 guys that delivered my new bed, so they said, right, we'll come to you anyway, we'll see what parts the beds are in, or the bed is in, and we will see what we can do. Bless their hearts, they came, they put all like the screws and that lot that was in like a little sandwich bag into a carrier bag and taped that up. They also put like the feet in that bag and taped it up. The slats that were all connected, they taped them together with the 3 pieces of broken middle board, and then they took the headboard, the footboard and the side pieces and said they would slot them around their van. Technically they could have refused to take it because they're not meant to take parcels that are not packaged, but they knew the situation I had with the bed and how much hassle I'd had with it, so they were really helpful and basically took it and wedged it around other deliveries they had. So now I'm just waiting for the company to get it back, and then I need to wait for them to refund the bed. So it's like £150. So I'm just hoping and praying it gets, I mean the assessor came out and assessed that it was damaged anyway, so I'm just hoping and praying that it gets back to them okay and I get the 150 quid back. Been to town today. If any of you guys are in your towns and you've got a card factory, go and have a look in there. They've got the new bed's a divan hand, so it came in literally 2 parts, or 2 parts on the headboard. They lifted it up the stairs to me, I just connected it together, put the headboard on, put the wheels on, it's all done. Yeah, what was I saying? If any of you guys got a card factory in your town, go and have a look. They've got a lot of things reduced in there. They're having a big sale. A lot of things reduced down to £1 or 3 for £1. Went in there today and they had like the glasses with the coasters for like turning 40 or 60 or wedding days. So pop in there and have a look. They were down to £1. They also had mugs in there. I picked up a few things for prizes that were free for £1. They had teddies in there. I'm going to attempt to go back in there and have another look. It was hard to look with Libby because the baskets that had all of them in were right in the doorway, and obviously with her buggy I was blocking the doorway. I didn't pick up any of the 60 or 40 glasses because I didn't know anybody that was 60 or 40 soon. But you got a glass and a coaster from what I could see. They were on quite high shelves so I couldn't see them properly. They also had a lot of photo frames in there, some really nice silver glittery ones that were meant to be £4 something each, down to £1. I didn't get any of them for the giveaway purely for the fact, for the Tombola, purely for the fact of they were quite heavy. So I thought posting wise they would be quite heavy to post, which would make the cost of posting go up, because obviously this one I am asking for donations towards the posting, as I didn't realise it was going to be as successful as it was. Didn't realise that many people would actually take part. I thought it'd be weeks and weeks and weeks that I would be trying to sell the tickets for, and we sold out within 24 hours. This one is actually from Primark. It's just a mini mouse one. This was £4. Today I went in to what shops did I go into today, guys? I went to one of my charity shops that I like. Only found 2 little things in there. Normally I found a lot more than that, so I was quite annoyed. Went to the big Poundland. Thanks, son. Went to the big Poundland. I went quite early when they first opened, so it was quite quiet to walk around, which was quite nice. Not a lot of people, not a lot of queues, etc. That's what I try to do. When I go to town, I'll try to be in town by 8:30, 9 o'clock, because Poundland opens at 8:30, Wilkinson's opens at 8:30. So you can go in there, have a look around before there's very many people. And then obviously the other shops open at 9, and you can go in there as soon as they're open, and you get to kind of have a look around without being bustled around and stuff. So that's what I tend to do. Mum is coming home tomorrow, so depending on how I feel, I might try and get into town early tomorrow and go into Card Factory. If not, I might go in Thursday. I might see if Mum can look after Libs for a bit. Go in after the doctors, or at least see if Mum can come with me. I don't like going in town when it's really, really busy. Libby has not a phobia. I don't think she likes a lot of people. Today was quite alright, being it was a Tuesday and we went in early, so it was busy but not exceptionally busy. She doesn't like going to town on a Saturday. That's just too busy for her. She has started getting a little bit of an attitude. I can't remember what shop it was in. Cannot remember what shop it was in today. But one of the shops she started kicking off, and I said to her there's no need for it. She started screaming and shouting. I told her there was no need for it, yeah, and she just didn't like it. She did finally give in. I think that was a lot because she was tired. She doesn't like giving in town. She believes that she's missing out, I think. Yes, hun. I'll show you guys because I've got the book here. So, I don't know if you can read that. You've got those people there that pre-ordered, and this lady here. They're all pre-orders. I've changed this one up a little bit. I was originally going to do the buy 50 and get 20 free, but I figured out that that was not a very good deal because you could buy 10 get 10 free. Meant you could buy 100, you could buy 50 get 50 free for less than the price of 100. With the 50 buy 50 get 50 free. So what I'm going to do is it's going to go back to the whole buy 50 get 50 free. But whereas before it was a 1 in 5 chance to win, I'm just going to put up a little bit to a 1 in 6 chance to win. I've done that just purely for the fact to try and make a little bit more money for the RSPCA, obviously. And obviously I have bought some prizes this time. So I will not be taking out a lot. So basically I put it up to 1 in 6 winners. So it means that the price of a ticket is 25p each. It takes it down to 20p each when you buy 10 or buy 100 or buy 50 and get the 50 free, etc. So it means that for every strip I sell, I'm making £1. I will take out my original stake of what I've put in to buy prizes, and I will continue to put this in every single time. So if the prizes have cost me £20, whatever I make on this Tombola, I will take £20 out, and then for the next one I'll put that £20 back in on buying other prizes. So I never get my original money back, but obviously as a lot of the prizes originally were from my stockpile or from donations, I can't always guarantee I'm going to have donations, and obviously my stockpile is never actually going to support everyone. It's obviously going to run out at some point, so I feel like doing this one by doing it that way. I'm only putting £20 in at a time. Right, Katerina, I've got you down for one lot of 50 plus 50, so you want another lot, yeah? So yeah, I hope you guys are happy with that and you're okay with that. I hope that's okay with you guys. So basically, like I say, at the moment the prizes have cost me £20. Whatever I make on this Tombola, I'll get £20 out, and I will go and use that to buy more prizes next time. And again, you know, I'll take the £20 out the next Tombola, use that again to go and get prizes. So I hope that is okay with you guys. I hope you agree that that is okay. I do not want to offend anyone in any way, shape or form, but like I say, the original Tombola was done out of my stockpile, and most of this Tombola is done out of my stockpile. We have got bargain bows, which is my friend Kathy. She is donating some bows to this one. Yeah? Where's her dummy? Probably in the night-night bag. No, it's still down here in the kitchen. If she's safe, just shut the stair gate and come down and get the night-night bag. And her water's on the side down here. Sorry, let that shut down. It's probably in the night-night bag, babe. The night-night bag's in the kitchen. And her water's done, look, on the Tommy Tippy. On the prep machine, look. The lid's just on the side. You just got to put the lid on for the water. I didn't think she'd come down for Night Night Dummy this morning.
Right.
Take the bag up, will you, with the water, please? I'm just folding these raffle tickets. Alright, take the bag up then. I've got Nanu in and just folding these. Sorry, Matt's trying to get Libby to sleep, and she has a Pacific dummy for at night time because it glows in the dark, which makes it so much easier to try and find in the night when you're trying to sort her and put her dummy back in her gob to settle her. It's easier to have a glow in the dark one. We do have more than one, but sometimes she comes down in the morning with it still in her gobs, and we try to keep it upstairs. But sometimes she'll come down with it in her gob, so we put it in the night-night bag, which is a bag that we take up and downstairs every night, which will have her bottle for bedtime in it, and it will have like cowpole, and it will have a pot of milk powder and some water, so she drinks a night-night bottle and wants another bottle in the night, we can make her one. Just saves us getting out of bed and having to come all the way downstairs. That's what Matt was shouting about. That's what he came down, because Matt come down, Nanu woke up. So, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, what was I saying about? What was I saying about, guys? Brain's completely gone. I've got a really itchy head. Sorry, guys. Really itchy head. With this Tombola, hun, I am asking for a donation to postage. I'm not saying you have to pay for postage. What I'm saying is, obviously you guys know how much postage is, and I know some of you would pay outright for the whole postage, and I know some of you maybe haven't got that amount of money for the whole postage but would like to pay something towards your postage. So I'm not going to be nasty or stuck up in any way. That's why I'm asking for a donation, and then it's your choice if you want to pay the full postage or if you want to pay some towards postage. Yeah, I didn't realise there was going to be that many people entering. I went to the post, well, Monday, 9 parcels went with Hermes, which was the over 2 kilograms ones. And today, I believe it was about 20 parcels I took to the post office. Basically, my buggy this morning was full to the brim. Couldn't do anything until I'd gone to the post office. But all parcels were sent off today. The only ones I haven't booked in at the moment are Samantha Evans's, but Samantha knows that. I've got to book in her prize box and another box of stuff that she was having off me, which I'm going to do this week. Yeah, she knows that. I might try and do that tomorrow. I just got to weigh. I've got her prize box ready, sealed, everything. I was just waiting on an address for her, and I just got to weigh the second box, which is the big thing that she's having off me. I just got to weigh that because I don't know what weight it is, and then I can book it in with Hermes. I'm also getting Heather's swap box done, and brain's not functioning. I think it's Julie. I'm doing a new swap box with. Okay, thank you, hon. Any donations anyone wants to give, that's absolutely fine. Hermes picked up on Monday. They say between 3 and 4 days roughly for delivery, and I posted the parcels today at 9:30 this morning when the post office opened. They say as their second class, as their second class postage. They say roughly about 3 days. Obviously depending on your area, could be 4. So they're roughly about the same time. So anything posted on Monday via Hermes, I have got tracking numbers for. If you guys want your tracking numbers, just let me know. But it will be Thursday, possibly Friday delivery for Hermes, and then it will be Friday, possibly Saturday for your Royal Mail ones. There are some small Royal Mail ones that would go through a letterbox. Some obviously are bigger. One cost me a lot more than expected, but I just didn't have the room in my buggy to take it home and re-weigh it, so I just paid the extra to get out of the raid, but I should have brought it home and sent it via Hermes, as it would have been cheaper, but either way it's done now. So yeah, this is just what takes time, guys, folding all these up, and obviously taking the time when you're drawing them. What's that on my ass? I'm just ripping these up. Tomorrow I'm not going out anywhere unless I choose to go to town, which, like I say, I want to have a look at Card Factory again, but it's kind of hard with Libby's buggy because they've got the baskets right in the doorway, and for me to sit Libby's buggy right beside the baskets, I'm blocking the doorway, which is a pain in the ass. So ideally I'd like somebody to either stand outside with Libby in the pushchair, or for her to stay with somebody just for 10 minutes or whatever, so I can go across town and do it. So my mum will probably come across town with me and just sit outside with Libby, as the buggy that Libby's got now, Mum can actually push with a wheelchair. Yeah, tomorrow probably won't go out, probably will just chill, put the washing away. Libby has been fine the last few days. She has got a bit of an attitude now. She's coming out with more words. So today in one of the shops, because she was getting tired, she was shouting, and I said to her to stop it because there was no reason for it, and she came back with no. She has never done that before, so that was a bit of an attitude. But yeah, she's never done that before. Yeah, welcome to toddler age. But she is coming out with more words today. She asked to go to Donald's today, so we went to Donald's as a treat. And she said bum today. And she actually said new bum, because when we change her bum, we always tell her we need a new bum. So Libby hasn't learnt no yet. She's learnt that no. The word she does do is mum, dad, daddy. She calls Nanu, Nunu. She calls our friend's little son Logan, she calls him Logo. And Bonbon is Bonnie, which is our friend's daughter. A friend that she calls Uncle, what is Uncle Scott to her, she calls Uncle Oo because the first time she met him he did monkey noises at her, so she calls him Oo, and she's been walking around today going doing monkeys. She calls Auntie Sarah Saza, Auntie Amy is Amy, Uncle Tom is Gran, Grandad. She does poo stink when she does a poo. She will hold her nose if she farts, or she will go up to you and say poo stink if she's done a wet nappy or a poo, or she just farted. If you ask her who did something, it's usually Daddy did it or Nunu did it. bye she's got. Do you want to see the new kitty, guys? Can you see him up there? Like, up there on the top of the red box. He goes out in the day. When we're out, obviously we shut him out unless he wants to stay in, and then we shut him, so he's got free range of like the bathroom, the hallway, our bedroom, stairs, and behind the door. Up behind the bottom door. In the night, about 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, we will shout if he's not already in and say, "Nano, baby, go in bed now." To which he comes in, he expects some dreamies, and then normally he will go and sit out by the front door where his bowl is. His water isn't down at the moment, so I've got to put his water down before I go to bed. But he's currently sat up there asleep, and then when we go up, he'll stand at the bottom of the stairs, have a few of his biscuits, and then he'll come upstairs and either sit in our bedroom windowsill or he'll cuddle into Matt. Most of the time he cuddles into Matt. For a cat that's meant to be craving female attention, he loves Matt more than me, so it's fine. Yeah, Libby is a complete and utter minx. When she's in town, middle of town, big shopping centre, one of those shopping centres that if you stand in the middle, the food court is above you, so it's like a big, what I call, hole in the floor, so you can kind of stand in the food court and look down and see the smack down into the middle of the shopping centre. You've got all these shops around you, and they're kind of like, you stand in the middle and you've got an aisle there, an aisle there, an aisle there, an aisle there. So you're right in the middle of all the shops. Quite often when we go past there, she will shout out at the top of her voice, "I pooed," or "I smell." Or the newest one is whoever she's with will be who's farted or who's smelled or who's pooed. So it might be gran fart or gran poo. But she doesn't go "I poo," she goes "I pooed." Nano is, Libby originally named him Go-Go Cat. And obviously now we know he's Nano. We've been trying to get Libby to say Nano, and she calls him Nunu. Yeah, he's settling in, bless him. We bought him a cat bed, and he won't sit in it. He'd prefer to sit on Matt's legs, or come up and be on our bed. Yeah. This Tombola, guys, is probably going to be 2 books. There is a lot of makeup in this one. And like I say, there's going to be a separate one you get entered into for free. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter you into that one for free if you buy 100 tickets. There's only going to be one prize for that one. And it's a bigger prize. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be at the moment. At the moment, Diane 1000, which is 1 book. I'm doing this because what I've done is, in here is all the 0s and 5s, and then in here is all like the spare tickets. So like, you know how you got a strip of 5 and a strip of 5? So you got like a strip of 5 this side and a strip of side that side. All the ones I'm not using are in there. So this is 1 book, which is 1000. I haven't labelled up any of the prizes at the moment, but I thought as this bit is the bit that takes time, I thought while Matt's trying to get Libby to sleep, I can sit down here and fold these books while there's crap on TV, and I can sit and chat to you guys and tell you about the new Tombola, and yeah, just crack on with it. it's something that I can just do while I'm watching TV. Because obviously if I try to do it while Libby's with me, she would pick this box up, which you can see is quite full already. And this isn't even all the tickets, like I say, this is only 1,000. I've still got all that lot to do, guys. She would pick this box up and chuck it across the floor. I've got to find the lid for this box actually. Diane. I got you down for £5 off at the moment, so you now want £10 worth altogether. Ooh. I've got so many people pre-ordering already. Did you reserve me? Oh, it's Mum Michelle, sorry. Did you reserve me £5 worth? Did you reserve me £5 worth, hun? If so, I don't know if £5 worth. Oh, sorry, Stacey. Oh, not Stacey, Mum Michelle. Okay. No. Sorry, I'll do that now. Right, you're done now, hun. There is a lot of makeup in this one. So like maybe a mascara would be one prize. There's loads of nail varnish which are single prizes. There's eyeshadows, there's lip glosses, there's body butters, there's face masks. What is that site, hun? You said you put it on and you made free sales. I just thought makeup would be a good one. I just thought makeup would be a good one because it's always good for stocking fillers. There's always somebody in the family, like a young kid, that likes to experiment with it. Or you could put it in a stocking filler or make up a little hamster. There's nail varnish in there, body butters, face masks. I just thought doing stuff like that, there's always somebody, you know. There's kids' toys again, obviously. I did go back into the Disney store today to try and get some more socks and some more purses, but they'd actually sold out completely. To be honest with you, they still had a lot of sale stuff in, but it was all, to me, it was still quite expensive. I found 2 things that were under £3. Hi Caitlin. Yeah, there was literally like 2 things that were under £3 in the whole thing, which was some colouring sets. They were reduced to £1.50 each, but to me, £1.50 is not very expensive. Sorry about that, guys. For some reason, my internet just stopped working then. It was working fine on the actual machine, but my phone just suddenly cut out. Yeah, it was like a little padded case, so it had like Minnie Mouse and Star Wars, and in it you got this notebook. The paper was about the same size as a post-it note, but the thickness of it was only about that thick. It wasn't very thick at all. And then you had this little, guess which is a mixing palette. It was just like a piece of plastic with 4 little sections on it. It was really flimsy, it was really crappy. You had that in there, and then you had 6 little watercolours, and to me, I know it was reduced to £1.50 and I know it was in this like nice little padded thing, but to me I expected more in there because the original price of it was about £7. Now there's no way on God's earth I'd pay £7 for it, and I know damn well you could go into the pound shop and get a set of like 15 or something watercolours for £1, so I wasn't really willing to pay £1.50 for it to use as a prize, when I know I could probably, like, you're not going to give a crap that it's a Minnie Mouse case or whatever. It's not like you could even use the case for something else afterwards. It literally was this case, it's tiny little pockets, and it was pathetic. Only just pop it together, so you couldn't even have put like a new pad in there and some crayons because it wouldn't have shut. The crayons would have been too fat for it. It was just pointless. I looked at the hoodie again that I liked for Libby last time, and they still haven't put that down, and that was £10 something. Can't warrant that on a hoodie, especially not in a sale. I did get a Minnie Mouse purse in there, but you can use it as like a makeup bag, and that was £2.50, which was like my limit. I got some Tinkerbell magnets. I got one set for Libby, and one set I might use in a swap box, or I might put it into the prize giveaway. I'm not entirely sure yet, but they were £1.50, which wasn't that bad. But it was stupid stuff like there. Packs of like 4 Mickey Mouse badges that you'd expect to be down to like £1 now were still like £4.80. Heather, are you live with me as well or not? My phone's gone off as well. Can you guys still see me? I've got 12 watchers, 13 watchers apparently. Watching tattoo fixes at the same time, guys. Yeah, I've got Mummy Show, I've got you down for a tenner's worth. I just got to work out what this bigger prize is going to be. Whether I do a gift set or like a makeup set or a big box of chocolates, something like that. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, you'll be put into it for every 100 that you buy. So the people that buy 200 will have 2 entries. People that buy 100 will have 1 entry. Do you still have what for sale? Sorry, hun. It kind of came up and disappeared. Do you still have bits for sale? I remember a while back seeing, I don't know how to buy from you. I've still got my shared with stuff in it. I've just not got round to photographing it or listing it. I have some stuff listed on my sale site, which I've said about on here before, which is on Facebook. I used to do what I've got for sale videos. I just generally haven't done that for a little while. We would like to do a car boot sale, but due to hospital appointments and stuff like that, we're just not getting around to doing it. Yeah, hopefully, weather depending obviously, and Libby depending, this Sunday me and Mum might be going to the car boot sale. If we go, we will be searching for more Tombola prizes. Yeah, like gift sets and toys and stuff like that. I do still have stuff for sale. I have a little bit of kids' clothing. I'm trying to think what's out there. I've got pregnancy books, so like what to expect when you're expecting. I have baby name books. I have what's happening, hon? I'm so annoyed with a doctor I saw this morning, inflicting so much pain on me. Went about the osteoporosis in my hip, and I'm in agony and can't lie on that side, and he started stretching my hip and knee. Hun, seriously, that's what I'm terrified about for Thursday. I've got to go to hospital at 9 o'clock to get Libby's heart monitor. It's a monotonous job, yeah, hun. That's why I thought you guys could keep me company, and obviously you guys can ask me questions about the Tombola and stuff like that. The hamster's okay, hun. She's currently biting on the bars. I think Coco is going home tomorrow, as Mum's coming home tomorrow. So I think Coco is going home tomorrow for a bit. Hopefully Friday I've got a new cabinet coming, because currently they're on those pink drawers. It's horrible, those doctors. That's what I'm terrified about on Thursday. I know I've got osteoporosis, but I've never had the official diagnosis. Purely for the fact of, to diagnose it, I know they've got to manipulate my hip and my legs and stuff, and I know I'm going to be in severe pain and will not be able to walk, and will not be able to do a lot after it. And I've kept putting it off and 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 putting it off, and Mum and Matt have slightly lost it with me and said, you can't keep putting this off, you need a diagnosis, you need to finally get it down on paper. So on Thursday I am seeing the doctor regarding my severe back pain to try and get some sort of answer for that, or some sort of coping mechanism. And then I have to have an assessment for osteoporosis. I really don't want to do it. I know in my heart of hearts I've got it. I just really don't want to go through the I really don't want to go through the tests for it, to be honest with you. I'd quite happily just live with it and deal with it like I do. I've been living with it all of my life. Pregnancy has made it get worse, but I would never change Libby for the world. She may be a pain in the ass, as all kids are. She may piss me off at times. She may annoy me, but you know what? She's one of the reasons I get up in the morning, even if I'm having a shit day. You know, when she smiles at me or when she walks up to me and just gives me a kiss for no reason, it just cheers me up immensely. You know, to get out of bed in the mornings at the moment is a struggle. Not necessarily like depression wise or anything. What I mean is my sleep pattern is completely out of sync. I do not go to sleep till about 2-3 o'clock every morning. Libby is then up at 6:30. Last night, I think it caught up with me. I went to bed because my back was hurting and I was falling asleep down here. As soon as I lied in bed, I was wide awake. Libby, before she goes to bed, she crawls around the bed and stuff. She was, because I was lying on my front to try and help my back, she was jumping up my back, which was sending shooting pain through my back. Because I was wide awake, I just came down here, did a few more bags for the fundraiser. So I've now got 13 bags done out of 30. So I'm missing out on all your comments here because I'm doing this. Yeah, I came down and done some bags and went back upstairs to bed. I'm not on pain relief, Shell. I suppose I've just grown to the fact of gritting my teeth and dealing with it. This is me. I've never been one to take painkillers unless I need to. And with my backache and pain in my hips, before I had Libby, if my pain in my hips got too bad, I would take my Tombola, and I would go and kind of collapse up on the bed, and Matt would have to help me get up to go to the toilet and stuff like that. They help the pain. The only problem is they knock you out, and I don't feel right in taking them when I'm on my own with Libby. I feel like if she's asleep and she cries, I would not hear her, so I refuse to take them. Paracetamol and ibuprofen, don't touch it. I do have Tombola in the house. I very rarely take it. Last night I think everything caught up with me. Because when I did go upstairs to bed, I dropped fully. And Libby cried, and Matt got up like he's been doing for me lately. And yeah, he got up, he dealt with her, he brought her in bed. Even when she was in bed, I wasn't completely with it. I can remember at one point hearing a noise and not knowing what that noise was. And I can remember getting up and standing and just staring at Libby's cot for no reason. And Matt asked me if I was okay, and I said yes. And then I lied. I literally just like flomped back down on the bed. And I think he was talking to me, but I can't remember. I think I literally just flomped and fell immediately back to sleep. For that split second I was wide awake. I have no idea why, or when, or how. I just wasn't with it. At 6:30 this morning when Libby woke up, I was struggling to wake up. But as soon as I got up and got dressed and went to town, I was very wide awake. Like, it's 9:20 now. I had a spinal hun. My biggest fear was an epidural. I didn't want to have an epidural because of the situation with Libby. I had to have a spinal, and I had to have a spinal fast. They were struggling to put it in. I had to sit on the edge of the chair, and they were struggling to find it. They kept pushing in between my vertebrae, which was really hurting me. Obviously, trying to sit with your knees up, they assured me that I would have Matt in the room when I was having it done. She was not premature, no. I was told from day one I would not go past 40 weeks because I had gestational diabetes and because of my weight, etc. At 40 weeks dead on, I went in for my checkup. They told me to come back the next day. At 10 o'clock I was being induced. Went in, they induced me at 12:30. That was at 12:30 lunchtime. By 5:30 nothing had happened. Mum and Matt had to go at 10:30. At 11:15 they were still with me, and I was having pains that were coming every minute and a half and lasting for 40 seconds each one. But I was told I was not in labour. This was nothing, to ignore it and go back to whatever I was doing, which was nothing at the time. Mum and Matt got sent home at 11:45. At 12:05 they came to see me to see how I was. They put the monitor on my belly and they couldn't find Libby, which was normal because all the way through my pregnancy they were put the monitor on, and they would find her, and then she'd move, and then they'd find her again, she'd move again. She didn't like being on the monitor. Done it, guys. Yeah, she didn't like being on the monitor. So I wasn't fazed in any way, shape or form by that. And then they were worried, so they told the doctor to come in, and they wanted to break my waters to see what colour they were, to which they were brown, which meant that Libby had pooed. So that was then a concern because it was basically poisoning her. Let's move you guys around a bit and I'll talk for a bit. Yeah, they were then concerned because that meant that Libby had pooed, and that meant she was basically swallowing it. Hi, Nano. Yeah, she was basically she was basically swallowing her own poo, which was poisoning her. And they needed to get her out soon. So before they broke my waters, they said they're going to break my waters, and I said, I need to call my partner. You know, am I going to go into labour? They said, no, we're going to break your waters and we're going to move you to a side room and we're going to put you on drip and we're going to let you do your own thing. So, okay, right, fine, I can deal with that. They broke my waters and they were brown, which obviously meant Libby had pooed. So then they said, we've got to cut you open, we've got to cut you open, we've got to get into theatre now, I've got to cut you open. I was like, not having that. Mum's not here, Matt's not here, not having it. Frantically rung Mum and Matt. Matt had literally just dropped Mum off and got into our house, was lied on the sofa. So he rushed, got obviously off the sofa and went and picked up Mum and rushed to me. In the time, he actually ended up dropping my mum at the door. My mum rushed in and he went to go and find a car parking space. And they were trying to get me to sign a form and I didn't know what it was for. Nobody was telling me anything. They just kept saying, we need to get you in now, we need to get you in now. And I just was losing it. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I just kept on saying, what's going on? Please tell me what's going on. And they kept saying, you need to sign this, you need to sign this, you need to sign this, you need to sign this. And I didn't know what was going on. I was looking at Mum and I was like, what's going on? What's going on? Nobody's telling me anything. They're telling me now I need to go to theatre. What's going on? What's going on with the baby? I don't know. Tell me. So then she basically raised her voice and said to the anaesthetist, what the hell's going on? She's getting freaked out. You need to tell her what's going on. And he explained that Libby had pooed, that's the brown in the water, and that Libby was now swallowing her own poo, which was poisoning her, so they needed to get her out as soon as possible. The only way to do that was a C-section. And it wasn't that I could wait. I had to sign the paperwork and go down there and then. I refused to go anywhere without Matt. With that, Matt rushed in the door. And I was so scared. I was so shaken. My signature was like scratchy and they kept on saying, is this your signature? Is this your signature? And I was like, yeah, as good as it's going to be. They took me into the operating theatre, got Matt into scrubs, and I said, is Matt going to be with me? Is Matt going to be with me? Is Matt going to be with me? And they said, you need a spinal. I said, right, is Matt going to be here? Because I don't do needles right. I need Matt here. And they said, yeah, we're going to get you in, sitting on the bed, and then he can come in and hold your hand while we put your spinal in. And they sat me on the bed, and I had to kind of sit on the edge of the bed with my knees up to like my boobs, which was hard because I obviously had the bump in the way. And they had me holding a pillow to keep my head up. I had to keep my head straight. I had to keep my back straight. I had my feet on the table, and I was like, "Where's Matt? Where's Matt? You've told me I can have Matt. Where's Matt? Where's Matt?" Freaked out to the hilt. This is like my worst fear. They kept saying he's coming, he's coming, he's coming, and they told me he wasn't allowed in. Then they told me he could only come in when I was on the bed, and I could feel him feeling up and down my spine, and they kept telling me to stay still because they couldn't find the right place for the epidural, not epidural, the spinal. And then they finally got it in, and I went down really fast because it numbs you from your boobs down. So it numbed me really fast, and then when I was laid out on the table, like arms out, this arm I couldn't move because it was on a big tray thing and it had all the drips and stuff going in. I was lied there, and this arm I could move, and Matt was like over this shoulder, and I was shaking really violently. I remember my head shaking and my hand shaking, and Matt was like, calm down, it's okay, calm down. And then the doctor said, no, that's a reaction to what we've given her, she will shake violently. So Matt was trying to keep me calm. Nobody was telling me anything at the time about Libby, if she was alive or anything, so I was freaking out. Anyway, then they pulled her out. She'd pooed in the womb. As they pulled her out, she had her bum in the guy's hand. She pooed in the guy's hand. They put her on like the, you know, like the trolley thing. They put her on to wipe them down and stuff. They put her on that and she pooed again. So they cleaned her up. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and at the corner of my eye I could see them picking her up like this, and like I didn't know if it was an arm or a leg, but I could see them picking it up and just like it was flopping. And at this point she'd only kind of gone, eh. She hadn't cried, she just made this weird whingy noise. And then Matt was with me and I kept saying, go to her, go to her, go to her, I need you to go to her, I need you to go to her. You need to go to her, I need her to see her dad. And they kept saying she's fine, she's fine, she's fine, but she wasn't making any noise. You could just keep seeing this thing flopping. And then they said she's a little bit floppy. If she doesn't come around, she's going to neonatal. And then she kind of whinged a bit more, and she was moving a bit more, and they weren't happy that she wasn't coming pink, but she was coming around, which they were happy with. They wrapped her in the towel and brung her across, and most babies are like wrapped up and they're just about looking and their eyes are just open. Libby's eyes were wide open. She was getting her hand out the towel, she was poking me, she was sticking her finger up my nose, she was sticking it in my mouth. She was just constantly like, eyes open. She didn't cry or anything, but she was eyes open, poking, you know, everything. And then Matt held her. I said, go with her, go with her, go with her. And he's like, no, I need to be with you. Like, go with her, go with her, go with her. So he stayed with her, and I think he got 2 photos of her when she was born. One of her being weighed, and one of her when she first came out. We didn't get any of me on the table or anything. And then I went and got wheeled into recovery, and they let my mum in to see her. And my stepdad rushed back from... Sorry guys. My mum was overjoyed seeing her. Sorry guys. Oh, yeah. Yeah guys, my mum came in and held her. I was so overjoyed to see her, and my stepdad had rushed from his job. He'd shouted out across the airfield to say his granddaughter was here, his granddaughter was coming. And he rushed back from the airfield to come to see us in the hospital. And Mum was inside seeing us, and there was like me, Matt and her in the room. And I begged and pleaded for my stepdad to come and see her. And my mum said, look, can I go outside and just let her stepdad come in just for 2 minutes just to see her? He's rushed back from work just to see her, and I begged and pleaded. But they wouldn't allow him to come in and see her. So Mum was like, okay, we'll see her tomorrow. I was upset. I was upset my stepdad couldn't see her. When he rushed from work to see her. But yeah, then my stepdad took Mum home, and they come in the next day. And I had her with me. We went up to the ward at 4:30 in the morning. Matt was told to go home at 4:45 because he'd obviously been awake for so long. And I had her with me, but I couldn't do nothing. I was numb from the boobs down. I couldn't lift her, couldn't feed her. She didn't keep her blood sugar, and she couldn't keep her temperature. At one point she had a vest, she had a baby grow, she had a cardigan, she had 3 blankets wrapped up like really tight around her, like swaddled. She had a hat, she had mitts, she had booties on. She just couldn't keep her temperature. So she was still with me on the ward at that point, and Matt came back in at 10 o'clock the next day because obviously he was tired. He literally walked in and they were taking her down to NICU, and I just shouted at him, go with her, go with her. I don't want her being on her own, go with her. He's like, I've not seen her. I don't care, just go with her, just go with her. So then I was left on the ward. She went down to NICU, she had a cannula put in. She had to have oxygen, she had everything strapped up to her. At 12 o'clock, the nurses come round to me, and I said, you know, they wanted me just to have help to get out of bed so that they could change the bed in, and so they could give me a bed bath. And I just got up. By that point everything had worn off, and I just stood up out of the bed, and they were so surprised that I could stand up out of the bed without any help. And yeah, Matt came back up at 12 o'clock. And he had a quick break, and I said, go back down with her. I can't come down with her at the moment, just go back down with her. I was told that because at 2:30 in the morning my catheter was put in, it could come out, the earliest it could come out was 12 hours afterwards, as long as I was showing I was drinking and eating and going to the toilet okay. So at 2:30 in the afternoon, guaranteed, I buzzed the buzzer and I was like, get this out of me, get this out of me, I want to go and see my daughter. They were like, you can go and see her anyway, you just got to take your, basically, pee pot with you, your bag thing. So I'm not taking that with me, I'm going to have it out, I'm going to go see my daughter. They took it out. They advised me to, if I was going to go and see my daughter, to wait until Matt got up out from seeing Libby and got a wheelchair and pushed me down. I was not waiting. He came up and I was like, I'm going. And they were like, no, take a wheelchair. I was like, no, I'm going. And I went down. I walked all the way down to see her. Got down there, I felt immensely sick, but I needed to see my daughter. Spent about 2 hours down there. And then decided I needed to come back because I needed to have something to eat and stuff, and I needed to have assessment. And I was walking so slowly all the way back, and he was like, you sure you don't want a wheelchair? I was like, no, I can do this. And as soon as I got back in the bed at the top, I was just like, I've pushed myself too much. I could feel myself bleeding so heavily. But up until that point, I felt okay. I just needed to see my daughter. So after that, for the 2 days I was in, I would only go down in a wheelchair and come back up in a wheelchair. Mum and Mark came in at 6 o'clock that evening they came in at like 2 o'clock that afternoon, sorry, to see her. And obviously we had to go to, I had to go to NICU to see her, and Mark had bought her a balloon, my stepdad. He'd bought her a balloon saying get well soon. And he was right beside her incubator. He brought it in and put it beside her incubator so she could see it. And he only stayed for about 10 minutes, and then he walked out because he said it was too hot. And he'd brought my sister and her friend with him, and they came in to see me, and Mum and Mark walked out, and then Mum came back in and said Mark can't come back in. And I said, why can't he come back in? And she was like, he can't face seeing you like this. He can't face seeing how much pain you're in. He can't face seeing Libby with all the tubes and stuff in her. We were allowed to hold her at that point. We were allowed to take her out the incubator, but she had loads of tubes. No. She had loads of tubes attached to her, so everyone that held her, there was photos of me holding her and Mum holding her and Matt holding her, but because she's got so many tubes on her, Mark didn't want to hold her. But he said to Mum, I can't go and see Charlotte that. I can't see her in that much pain. She looked really ill. I was really pale. I wasn't eating properly. But, yeah, he couldn't come and see me back in hospital. So then Mum, that was on the Friday, Mum come and saw me again on the Saturday. Kept bringing food in for me and stuff. And on the Sunday at 12 o'clock, she came back from NICU at 6 o'clock on the Saturday night. She came up to the ward with me, spent one more night, and then we went home about 12 o'clock on Sunday, which, rather than coming straight home, we went straight round to my mum's so that Mark could see her, like Mum, my stepdad, could see Libby and actually hold her without all these tubes and stuff connected to her. So we did that. But yeah, I kind of feel bad that he didn't get to see her that first night. And it does get to me in a way, thinking about it. Even though he passed in November, I've not given myself a chance to grieve. I haven't grieved at all. I have the odd cry, but I don't think I've actually grieved. I keep telling Mum, you're keeping yourself too occupied, you need to grieve. And I don't think I've grieved. In my head, he's still at work, and he's just working late. And that's why when I go round to my mum's, he's not there. And my mum sees spirits, so she sees him. And the other day Mum was here, and Libby went up to the patio door where we've got the area to stop her going out, and she just stood staring at something in the garden. And she kept staring at it and going, "Grandad, Grandad, Grandad." And then Mum was like, "Can't you see it? Can't you see it?" And I was like, "No, no, can't see it, can't see it." She said, "Can't you see it? Mark's there." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Mark's there, he's walking around the garden." And Libby was just literally stood transfixed, looking out to the garden, just staring, going, "Grandad, Grandad." So obviously she could see this as well. And I couldn't. But then I am normally quite high on smells. So whereas my mum will see them, I normally smell them. So like when my granddad is near, he used to wear this one type of aftershave that you could only get in Avon. And they haven't done it for about 10 years. They stopped doing it. But when I know he's near, I smell it. I smell it like somebody is behind me and has squirted it directly into my face. So when I smell that, I know my granddad's near. And it annoyed me in a way. The other day when Mum was adamant that Mark was out there walking around the garden and Libby was transfixed on something saying, "Grandad, Grandad, Grandad," so she was obviously seeing something. Because quite often she'll sit at the bottom of the bed and just stare at something and say, "Grandad," so I swear she sees him. But I couldn't smell him and it was annoying me. And then I realised that I had the fan going and the fan was blowing all the smells out the door. And if it was outside I couldn't smell it because obviously the fan was blowing all the smells out the door. But yeah, I mean, I normally smell them. I haven't been able to pick up on that yet, like to see them. When I was a kid, apparently, I used to have well, I can remember her. Mum and Dad used to hear me talking to this person up in my bedroom for hours on end every night. And one day they snuck upstairs and looked through the crack in my bedroom door and they saw this Victorian lady dressed in like a velvet dress and jacket and everything. She was sat on the end of my bed talking to me. And it was like there was actually somebody sat there and they were looking at her. And to me that was normal. So I've always been around spirits. I just suppose it annoys me that with my granddad I know. With my granddad I can smell. And I've not had that with Mark yet. And I don't know whether it's because I haven't let myself grieve. Or I don't know. But to me, I haven't grieved. And I feel in a way like going round to my mum's house and him not being there. It's just not right. Or I'll go to town, going shopping, and he always used to ask me to pick up something, so it might be like chocolate jazzies or something, so I see him. And it will remind me of him or something stupid. I'm not quite sure what they're doing up there. I think the cat's up there now. Sorry guys, didn't mean to like start crying. But yeah, basically I had a emergency spinal. And I had this back pain when I was carrying Libby, and I put that down to obviously you're carrying a bump, so you're walking differently, your centre of gravity's changed and stuff. And since having her. She's never gone away. I expect it to last a little bit after I'd given birth, because your body's getting used to walking back the way they were, or you're leaning forward and picking them up and everything. I wouldn't get worried about Katerina, they look after you so well. Obviously mine was very rushed, mine was never planned. They asked me what I wanted to do, and even in my birth plan I said, unless it's a case of life or death. You alright, babe? Mm-hmm. Is she asleep? Yeah. In the bed or in the cot?
Bed. I was just gonna get a quick drink and grab my phone.
There's your phone. I'm just gone live because look, I folded up all them. Babe. What? We haven't labelled the prizes up like yet. I'm going to try and do that this week. Nan's come up.
Yeah, upstairs.
Thought so. He came in and he sat on top of that red box, asleep. Yeah, he'll probably come back up with you. You know, he follows you, doesn't he? I'll be up in a bit. Okay. I'm watching the rest of Tattoo Fixers and then I'll come up. Okay. Alright? Love you. He just popped down for a drink. Yeah, they look after you really well. Mine was just an emergency one, or through my birth plan. I said I wanted to do it gas and air, and I didn't want to have any intervention unless yeah, I only wanted gas and air, and I didn't want any interventions unless I needed to, but obviously I needed to, because if I was left she would not be here. But yeah, I mean, just take it. You may feel like you can do anything when you are back home. You may feel you're okay to get up and put the washing in and stuff like that. Just take it easy. It takes like 6 months for your organs to get back to where they should be. And when I was home, I went back to sticking the washing in. I went back to standing and doing the washing up. I went back to doing everything. You know, within the first 24 hours of me being home, we brought her home on a Sunday. We went and visited Mum and Mark. On the Monday, we had my sister come round again. On the Tuesday, we went to town. You know, we parked at my mum's and went to town and walked around town and did shopping. And I was at home doing the housework, I was hoovering and stuff like that. I wasn't taking it restful. I was in a house that was not the best. I was still waiting for my front doors at that point, that they assured me would be fitted before I even moved in. And the health visitor told me that if they were not fitted by the time that I had the child, that me and the child would be moving out, and I wouldn't be allowed to bring her home until they're fitted. They were actually fitted when she was 10 days old, because the midwife had to come round and take my staples out when I was upstairs in the bedroom, and I kind of shut me and her up in the bedroom while they were ripping out my front door and back door and putting new ones in. The house had mould in it. It was cold. The house was not the best house. Just please take your time. Slowly work yourself back into it. I regret going back into it so fast because it killed me. It killed me. I thought I was okay. I thought I felt invincible, and then I just dropped and it fucking hurt. And I'm not gonna lie, it fucking hurt. I thought I was invincible. I thought I was okay. I rushed it in the hospital, rushed going down to see a NICU where I should have admitted defeat. And at first time I went down, I should have gone in a wheelchair, but I didn't. I just decided I needed to go and see my daughter, and I walked. And I wish I'd never done that. Just take your time. Obviously, as a mum, if you've got kids like already, you're going to have to get back into the routine of doing stuff like that. But take your time. Even if you're doing the same things but doing it slower, take your time. That's all I can say is take your time. Trust what they say. I had to face every single fear of Libby. I don't do injections well. I still pass out at injections. Yeah, I had gestational diabetes and I had to prick my finger every day. I had to take medication, which I don't like taking medication. I had to have an emergency C-section, which was my biggest fear. I had to have a spinal, which was my biggest fear. I had my daughter go into NICU, which was my biggest fear. I was told that I would have paper stitches for my C-section. I had staples, which is the norm, so that terrified me. Libby was born with a heart defect. She's got has got a heart murmur. That was my biggest fear. After she was born, the first 7 days afterwards, Matt had to inject me in my stomach. Again, I don't do needles very well. I pass out every needle. I dealt with all of that. I faced every single fear going for that girl. And she may be the biggest pain in the ass going, and she may piss me off at times, but I faced everything for her, and I would still face it a million times over again for her. She had a really bad acid reflux when she was born. Couldn't keep any milk down. Finally found a milk we could keep down her. At one point we ended up going to the A&E with her because it was when it was hot, and we ended up sleeping down. We ended up sleeping down on the floor. We took the inflatable bed down and we slept on the floor in the sitting room. Brought Libby's travel cot down and slept down there because upstairs, even with fans, was well too hot, whereas downstairs was that little bit cooler. And for some reason she started vomiting up what looked like mashed potato. She hadn't ate mashed potato and she just wasn't keeping anything down. We ended up taking her to emergency care to find out they said basically there was nothing wrong with her, and just to keep her cool and keep feeding her. And yeah, we've gone through everything with her, and now we're going through this fit situation and we don't know what the hell it is. The doctors don't know what the hell it is. It has been a week today. No, 2 weeks today. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks today. She hasn't had any fits for. We still don't know what it is. She's got to go back in for an MRI scan on Thursday. She's got to go and have her heart rate monitor fitted for a day. Friday we've got to go and take that back in. She's got to have bloods done, which I don't know when they're doing bloods. We have got to have another paediatric appointment in October. We've got to have an MRI scan that we're in for the thing of your bloods, paediatric, MRI, heart rate monitor. I've got to have my assessment for my back and for my osteo. Yeah. So it's another week of being in out of hospital. I still need to go and have my bloods done. They think that I may be anemic, and until I have my bloods done they don't know, and that was 2 months ago and I haven't had my bloods done. Purely for the fact of trying to get to the places that I can have them done when they're open is hard, because either Matt's at work or Mum's been away. They don't like me taking Libby because I pass out having my bloods done, so they prefer me to go on my own. So obviously for me to go on my own, I can't go on my own because I pass out, so I basically need Matt to be at home with Libby and then Mum to come with me, because they said that if I pass out, if I go on my own with Libby, they cannot be responsible for me and the baby. so they prefer me not to take the baby with me. So ideally Matt needs to look after Libby and Mum needs to come with me, or me and Mum need to go with Libby. Yeah, or Mum needs to come with me and Libby need to go in, and then Mum can look after Libby. And I'm getting better with bloods, but I still pass out. But until I have that test, they don't know if I am anemic, so they're probably going to catch up with me on Thursday and say, why have you not had this blood test? When they do my assessment, I hope they don't hurt me on Thursday, because obviously I have to go back to the hospital on Friday to drop the heart rate monitor back in. I'd be lucky if they manage to keep it on her. She doesn't like anything on her. They will be absolutely lucky if they manage to keep the heart rate on her for 24 hours. Yeah, I lay down when doing it. I do the deep breathing. I do everything. The only thing is, I still pass out. If I see the needle, I'll pass out. If I know that the if I know the needle's coming, I'll pass out. So yeah, they need to put the heart rate monitor on for 24 hours. So we've got to go and have it fitted on Thursday. They said apparently it only take like 10 minutes to fit. So her appointment's at 9 o'clock. Mine is at 11:40. So we will see. Yeah. She doesn't like anything on her. So it's going to be interesting trying to keep this heart rate monitor on her for 24 hours. Because I've got a feeling she's going to rip it off. And then it'll be inconsistent results. So that's going to be fun to keep on her. Really, really, really don't think she's going to keep it on her. So yeah, I haven't tried a TENS machine. I'm not allowed a TENS machine. My mum had one, but I can't use it. I have bad reactions to stuff like that. I wasn't allowed a TENS machine. When I was pregnant, I wasn't allowed a TENS machine for things. I've tried everything on with needles. I've had my phone blasting out on Facebook, YouTube, anything. I've had people with me. I've took a book with me. I've had everything and I still pass out. It's the knowing that the needle's there, the knowing that the needle's in the room and it's going to come at me at some point. I bruise really, really badly, so when I have my blood test, they bruise me like hell. Like say you go in here and I'll be bruised all up here and all down here. I've never ever been good with needles, so like I say, I faced my fear of Lib, did it all for her. I'm only going to have these purely for the fact of I don't need to look after myself for her. Currently coming down with a cold as well, which is not the best of ideas, so I'm dosing myself up with that. Itchy nose. I've never been able to deal with needles, guys. Ever. My daisy prick from my BCG, perfectly fine with. Could deal with that. I suppose because when you looked at it, you couldn't see the needles. It was like a pen and then you just walloped it and done, dusted. You never ever saw the needles, it just like a giant pen. But my BCG, they had to do 4 times because they couldn't get it in the right position. They like stuck the needle in, wiggled it, it's in the wrong position, took it out, stuck it in, wiggled it. It took 4 attempts to get my BCG in the right place. And yeah, it's my BCG is now, you can just about see that tiny little white bit there. That's my BCG now. Yeah, never really. Every time I had blood tests, I would tell them I need to lie down and have it done. I just can't do it, guys. And as you can see, my eczema's playing up again. My eczema looks really bad. so I'm really self-conscious. You can see it's really starting to play up again, so I'm not that bad. Oh, that's another one of my tattoos. I can't do needles at dentist hand. Can't do them. Like, I'll be put under by gas. I had to have gas and air. Can't have needles. I did have needles when I had to have 13 teeth out, which was 5 appointments. I had 5 out in one go. They did do needles then, but they gassed me up. They made me so dopey I didn't even know where the fuck I was. Then when I was dopey, they put numbing gel on my gums, like, not even though they were pulling out teeth here and here, they put it over the whole of my gums. They put cotton ball in my mouth, and then the guy kept on just doing this all around my mouth, and he just kept on doing it. So I got used to his fingers doing that. So obviously then while he was doing it like up here, somebody else was injecting here, and when he was doing it here, somebody else was injecting here. And even though they pulled out here and here, they injected the whole of my mouth, and I think you're meant to have 4 needles, and I think I ended up having 8 because they made sure I was completely numb, but they did it like this. They don't like sticking me under general to do it, so they make me dopey as hell. I think I use about half a canister of gas when I go in, but I did have 5 in one go and get them over and done with. When I went in last year, because I was in a lot of pain with a tooth back here, I had an exposed nerve, and the dentist basically said there was nothing they could do about it. I would have to get sedated and have it ripped out, and I was just in so much pain I couldn't deal with it. Went to the emergency dentist. They took one look at it and said it needs to be taken out. You're in a lot of pain. We can drill the nerve out. It's very painful, but you have to have it done if you want the pain gone. I sat there and was pissed in myself, crying. I was upset. I was worried, and I said just fucking do it. So I didn't get any gas or air. I literally walked in. They put a bit of gel on my mouth. They stuck needles in me, which I was terrified for. I was freaking out. Libby was still in the big car seat at that point. She came with me. I was screaming. I was crying. I couldn't hardly breathe. But they kept on saying, do you want to stop? Do you want to stop? And I was like, no, let's keep going. Let's just get it fucking done. And I had it done. And then even though it was numb, when they were drilling through the nerve, I could feel every fucking bit of it. And I was screaming and I was in pain, and they kept saying, do you want to stop? Do you want to stop? Do you want to stop? And I was like, no, just fucking keep going. And I was pushing myself further and further back into the chair to try and get away, but I knew I needed it done. Anyway, I finally sat there, got it all done, and I've never had any pain since, because obviously the nerve's not there anymore. It's been drilled through and it's gone. But I made myself do that because I was in so much pain. At that point I was taking 8 cold a day, and that wasn't even knocking on the head, that was just numbing it enough to try and get by. I wasn't hardly eating or anything. So yeah, I don't do needles very well, guys, but if I have to, I fucking do them. So I think this Thursday I'm going to get bitched at by the doctor for keeping this osteo thing so long and not dealing with it, and back pain for so long. I'm terrified of the dentist. I physically wet myself. I feel sick. I feel dizzy. I faint. I shake. I'm fucking terrified of her. Yeah, so just deal with it. I have to deal with it for her. If I go to the dentist and I'm with her, I have to show no fear. I don't want her picking up on fear. I don't want her picking up on my fears. So anyway, guys, it's now 10:05. I'm gonna stick this somewhere where Libby can't get to it because there's no lid on it. I need to find the lid for it, which is upstairs somewhere. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna go up and chill on the bed, go to sleep in a bit, probably catch up on some YouTube, watch some crappy videos. Yeah, go up and chill. I might even try and go straight to sleep, which will be a first for me. I was very, very tired earlier on today. When Libby had a nap, I wanted to have a nap, but just as she fell asleep, our friend came round and picked up something for Logan. So then they went, and I thought, well, I'm going to go to sleep now because Libby's still asleep and I'm tired. And then I just couldn't fall asleep, and then when I started falling asleep, Libby was waking up, so I've not had a sleep. So I may go up and literally go straight to sleep, or attempt to go straight to sleep. Look how weird I look without my glasses. You see how hooded my eyes look? It's really bad. I can't see hardly anything, guys, without my glasses, if you ever wonder. Have you ever woke up, guys, when you're like half asleep, half awake, your vision's really, really blurry, so if you look at something you can see like a blurred outline or something, but if there's details on the middle you can't see. So like, say you looked at somebody's face, you could see the blurred outline and you could see the colour change between the face and the hair, but you couldn't define the eyes, the nose, the mouth, etc. That's what I see all the time without my glasses. I can't see fuck all. So yeah, I'm gonna go to bed, lie in bed, chill out, try and go to sleep. I am exhausted. I'll be lucky if I go to sleep before 3 o'clock again. Back up with Libby at 6. So I never know, I might have a knockout night like I did last night. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna attempt to try and be asleep by 11 o'clock. We'll see. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna attempt to label up all the prizes tomorrow, because I've just done 1,000 tickets, so I'm going to attempt to put like the winning numbers on some of the prizes tomorrow. We'll see. Going to Carboot on Sunday, hopefully, weather dependent and depending on what's going on. Family's not coming up, and I will see you soon, guys. Let me know if any of you want to pre-order the tickets. I got quite a lot of you down, so once I've worked out how many prizes there is, which last time I did 1,400 tickets, which was 280 prizes. Pardon me, I think there's going to be 2,000 tickets, which will be 400 prizes this time. We'll see. Currently pre-ordered, I've got Heather down for 10 plus 10, which is £2. I've got Nicola Cuthbertson down for 50 plus 50, which is £10. I've got Elizabeth Horton down for 30, which is £6. I've got Bargain Bows down for 50 plus 50 because they're donating something, so anyone who donates gets a few free tickets. So because Bargain Bows is donating something that's worth £10 worth, I've given her £10 worth of tickets. We've got Stacey Scott down for 50 plus 50, which is £10 worth. I've got Emma Rude down for 10 plus 10, which is £2. I've got Jade down for 20 plus 10, 20 plus 20 plus 5, which is £5 worth. I've got Katerina down for 50 plus 50, which is £10. I've got Caitlin Pink down for 25 plus 20, which is £5. I've got Zoe down for 10 plus 10, which is £2. Christina down for 50 plus 50, which is £10. Mum of 5 Fry Smith down for 10 plus 10, which is £2. BB Girl Hamster 10 plus 10 for £2. Zoe 10 plus 10 for £2. Rebecca Billington 25 plus 20 for £5. Samantha Evans 100 plus 100 for £20. Samantha Evans's auntie slash mum 20 plus 20, which is £4. And I've got Frida Baxter, who is 25 plus 20, which is £5. I've got Katerina down for another £10 worth, which is another 50 plus 50. And I've got Mummy Shell down for another £10. Got Mummy Shell down for £10 worth, which is 50 plus 50. So that's what I got at the moment, guys. And then obviously you can see it at the top there. So each ticket is 25p per ticket. Buy 10, get 10 free, which is £2. Buy 50, get 50 free, which is £10. And then there'll be a second Tombola for bigger prize. Is that backwards to you guys? Is that backwards? Probably is backwards. Second Second Tombola for bigger prizes for anyone who buys 100 tickets, free to enter. So can you see? So how many have you asked for, hon? I've got you down for 10 plus 10. Oh, no, I've got you down, sorry. I've got you down for 10 plus 10 there, which is that one, look. And then you asked for another 10 plus 10, which is down there. So I've got you down for £4 worth at the moment, Zoe. Katerina, I've got you down for £10 worth there, and £10. So you got £10 worth on the front page and £10 worth on the back page. So you've got £20 worth. And then, yeah, Frida Baxter, I've got you down for £5 worth. So obviously when this is a normal video, I won't be able to see your comments that have been made when they're live. So yeah, if you can read my writing, guys, just double check on there. Look, this is the pre-orders. I've still got Stacey Scott's to put down as she's donating some prizes. And then there's some more pre-orders on this side, if you can see that. And I know obviously some of you will still buy tickets when it's up and running. I'm not actually going to take any money for any of these tickets until the Tombola is up and running. Louise. It's 20 plus 20. Yeah, I'm not actually going to take any money for this until it's up and running, which hopefully should be by the weekend. All parcels have been sent off apart from Samantha's, which she knows about, which I'm going to try and book in later on this week. I've just folded up 1,000 tickets, so hopefully I can start. So just private message me and we'll sort it all out. Anyone who donates will get some free tickets into the draw. So yeah, guys, that's it. I hope you really don't mind that I've changed the chances of winning from 1 in 5 to 1 in 6. Just helps me make a little bit more money. And like I say, I hope you guys don't mind that whatever money I put in to buy prizes, I take that out before the money goes to the RSPCA, and I will put that back in for the next Tombola to buy prizes. Obviously we haven't always got donations of every single prize, so I do buy prizes to put in them. So I hope you guys don't mind that, like, if I put £20 worth of prizes in, I take that out before I take any other money to go to the RSPCA, and then I'll reinvest it into the next one, and I'll just keep doing that every time. I hope you guys are okay with that. Just let me know if you're okay with that. I don't want to offend anyone, I don't want to piss anyone off. But yeah, that's how I find it easy to do. I'm just going to take you guys off the tripod. You guys haven't seen this tripod, have you? Try to show you. This is what I treated myself to for 500 subscribers. I'm just going to put it down because I'm off up to bed, obviously. And if it come down in the morning and it's up, Libby will play with it. And I know it's only £7. But obviously I don't want her damaging it. It's my first tripod. It's my first like real vlogger, whatever you want to call it, thing I bought. I was going to get myself a vlogging camera, and then I thought there's no point because at the moment I film on my